And here we are today, and it's high time that we resolve this issue. In my view, Amendment 248 sets out a fair, a transparent and a practical means of addressing the problem. It requires an application by the landowner, it requires detailed advertising, and it requires consideration by the Secretary of State, who has a broad discretion of whether it is or it's not in the public interest for the relevant land to be freed from the trust. That, in my view, is the appropriate way forward, and that's why I support Lord Banner's amendment.
My Lords, we've had three.
Might I say just before the front benches? Look, I hesitate to follow the noble Lords Banner, Grabiner and Panic, but I do support Amendment 248 in the name of my noble friend Lord Banner. And we heard in debate, this has sort of very much come at the last minute. Well, by my reckoning, this is the fourth time I've sat through this debate, and if I was to go back in Hansard, it might actually be the sixth. I haven't looked at whether it was mentioned in the second readings of both the Planning and Infrastructure Bill and the one currently before us. My Lords, I've listened very carefully. The Supreme Court, under the chairmanship of Lady Hale, has told us to sort it out. There clearly have to be safeguards, and we've had quite a shopping list of those in this amendment. In the age of social media, there's no chance of pulling the wool over people's eyes, trying to hide an advert in small print at the bottom of page 78 of the local newspaper. But the wider issue is, we cannot orphan land, we cannot blight places in perpetuity. That would be perverse to have that just for want of being able to find an advert in a 100-year-old copy of a newspaper in a publication that doesn't exist anymore. That's the prejudice that's before us. Sometimes you've got to look forward and offer a remedy, and that's not only in the public interest, that's in the interest of natural justice too. We've heard in this debate, this isn't just about Wimbledon, that's actually been sorted. But we've heard that that shadow exists elsewhere. The matter is not resolved. And Lady Hale has told us to get it sorted. If we don't, nobody can. It seems to me that the proposals before us are fair, transparent, and have a very strong public interest test. Now is the time and the opportunity, a chance for certainty from all sides, from the protagonists in this particular issue, and now is the moment. We've heard so much about how difficult it is to get stuff done in this country. We have a government in a hurry, we've got sites that are stalled, people are just hanging about, waiting, and now is the time to stop the procrastination. Let's get on with it, let's make a decision, let's pick up the baton that has been laid in front of us by the Supreme Court and get behind 248. It's time we got it done.